What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darium's Competitive Pokemon. Gonna be playing another game on Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. Gonna be using my Decidueye Vileplume deck. Got a few new, cool, and interesting things going on with my Decidueye Vileplume deck because this is Burning Shadows format, this is Worlds format, and I'm just trying a couple things out. I think that Vileplume should be really strong with Acerola. Decidueye should be really good with that. Those two in combination, I mean, just think about it. You tank with your Decidueye, you could pick it right up with Acerola if it gets damaged, and just lay the whole line back down with Forest of Giant Plants. Not only can you tank better with Decidueye, you can also reuse its ability. So it's really cool in that regard as well, and I love it for that. You can get 2 Feather Arrows out in a turn if you scoop the line up, put it back down with the same Decidueye. So that's really great. Apologize to you guys if you can hear Kevin's dog barking upstairs. Nothing I can do about it, so we're just gonna roll with. Hopefully, I think it's Roxy, or as Kevin will call her, Poopers. So I think it was Roxy up there is throwing a little bit of a fit. So I don't know. Hopefully that calms down and we can get into this game here. But looks like my opponent's playing Golisopod, so that's exciting. Get to try out a matchup against this Golisopod deck. Looks my opponent does play the evolution lines, which means that they are going to be able to hit my Decidueyes for weakness if they get that Flareon out and into play. However, nothing is going to be going on here unless I draw out of this situation, because I do not have any sort of draw cards. None. I ain't got none. So this is what we're looking at. Maybe we can buy a couple turns with retreating into this Oddish. Oh, we got a Sycamore. We're in. Let's go. Oh, yeah. All right, so I'm going to get a Rowlet, slap that Rowlet down, put the Oddish down. I'm going to put the Float Stone onto the Oddish because that's where we want it. I'm going to put the double colorless energy onto my benched Rowlet because I don't... What if my opponent knocks out my active? And we're going to Sycamore. Hopefully we can get a Forest and a Revitalizer so we can pick that line back up, throw it right back down. Looks like we do have a Forest, so that's good. Want a Trainer's Mail here, see if I can get anything else going. The answer's no. No, just 4 Pokemon. Yep, just slow your roll, Andrew. You ain't doing nothing this turn. Let's see, we do have a Decidueye, though. Okay, so we're going to put this up. If I had been able to Trainer's Ball for a level ball there, we would have been great. But let's see. All right, we're going to set up 4, though. See, maybe we can grab a level ball here. Get that Vileplume out real early, and we got it. So that's fantastic. I can evolve my active Dartrix as well, and then hopefully my opponent has a hard time getting that Tapu Lele out of the active. I mean, they could just attach to retreat out of retreat, so they're probably going to knock out this thing in one hit. And then that's actually a little tough for me because I got no way to really deal with a Golisopod that's hitting me, especially if it starts hitting me for weakness. That's ugly. So I ain't really trying to deal with all that. Let's put the Vileplume down. And we're just going to ship it over to my opponent. Got 1 Feather Arrow off. This is about as good of a turn 1 as you could hope for. Got a Decidueye and a Vileplume out. Oh, my opponent is playing the Zoroark version too. So they are playing Golisopod and Zoroark and Evolution. So I imagine their Evolution line is probably pretty thin. They are going for the Bridget here. They got a Golisopod, so they're going to knock out my Dartrix. That's frustrating. They do get the Eevee and another Wimpod, and they're just going to start to be able to take out some serious damage with First Impression. Now, that being said, I don't know how well my opponent's going to be able to draw from here on out. I do have them under item lock. How are they going to be able to get this Golisopod back to the bench? They don't have Zoroark out yet. They can't attach Float Stones. They can't play switches. Maybe, and they're going to have to hit their Guzmas and stuff. I'm not going to end my opponent because my opponent only has a 4-card hand. So we're just going to throw this thing down with Sycamore. Not going to put the Oddish down because I don't need to. I don't need to set up another attacker. So or another Vileplume. I don't really need to do that. This is weird. I don't really like this. I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm just going to Sky Return. I didn't really draw in anything good. This is the danger of setting up your line so early. I didn't even get a Rainbow, so I could Hollow Hunt with my Decidueye. Yeah, man, and we got a lot of birds down right now. So this is a little tough. Let's see. We are going to Sky Return. And I think I'm just going to promote my Vileplume and just say, like, I don't think you're going to knock this out. Because I don't. You know, I mean, Zoroark's not doing any damage. I don't think, I mean, he would have to do, he's doing 120, so I don't think he's going to knock me out with the Golisopod. He'd have to get the Flareon and reset this thing's first impression. He could Crossing Cut GX me. All right, like if he Crossing Cut GXs me, then he gets the knockout, but I'd rather him Crossing Cut GX his Vileplume and let me play all these trainer cards in my hand so that I can use Revitalizers and get these back into the deck. So that's kind of like my thought process too, is like, kind of I don't even mind if you do knock out my Vileplume. That's really what I'm thinking. Oh, I forgot to Feather Arrow last turn. Nuts. Oh. All right, so I did forget to Feather Arrow last turn. I'm sorry, guys. Failing you all here. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and Sky Return again. And we're not going to be bad this turn. We're going to remember to Feather Arrow. I was a little distracted. So let's retreat and just Sky Return. I could Guzma something else out, but I just am interested in loading damage onto this Golisopod. Plus, if I Guzma something, then my opponent can just retreat. So I'm just going to rack up damage this way, and I'm just going to kind of hope that my opponent eventually knocks out this Vileplume. And you can see, Vileplume's just so good. I mean, look how good this thing is. I'm even, you know, I even forgot to Feather Arrow, and we're still rocking over here. Just because my opponent has limited options. They're going to end me, which I'm fine with. Brand new hand to 6. This is fine. And I think I'm just going to keep promoting this Vileplume until my opponent knocks it out. I really want to use these Revitalizers. I really want to get more Decidueyes into play. So I think that I want to go for some sort of play here where my Vileplume gets knocked out, and then I play a bunch of trainer cards and then get Vileplume back into play. So like that would be pretty ideal. I could knock out this Golisopod this turn. My opponent doesn't have a free retreater. That's probably just the play. I mean, if my opponent, it would be really bad if my opponent knocks this thing out. If my opponent can get that Flareon, find the Flareon, and then knock me out, that would be horrible. So I think I'm just gonna try it though. Let's just do it. Or Razor Leaf, take it out. My opponent doesn't have a free retreater. You know, maybe they find a way to do, you know, maybe they find a way to retreat. Maybe they just have an energy and can retreat for free. Let's see. Does this get... Yeah, I guess that counts as coming into the active position. Yeah. No, it doesn't. See, I was going to say, that doesn't count as coming into the active position. You need to retreat. So my opponent is just going to dink me there. Not going to do enough damage. This is cool. All right, so check it out, guys. About to pull off some crazy stuff. Here we go. Let's Acerola this Vileplume up into my hand. So sick. All right. And now it's business time. Let's go get some Pokemon. We're going to set up like a bunch of Vileplumes or a bunch of Decidueyes, and then we're just going to go ahead and slap that thing right back down, and my opponent is going to be salty. So let's see. We're going to get the Dartrix and the Decidueye. Great. I'm going to play a bunch of items. This is so cool. And this is another reason why I'm playing those rainbow energies, right? Is that I could have, even if my opponent hadn't knocked out or hadn't, you know, poked the Vileplume like I had wanted my opponent to, then I could have damaged the Vileplume myself with rainbow energy and then picked it up that way. So gotta be careful not to play my Vileplume down yet because I got a few other things I want to do, but I am gonna put that down. Let's see, we can grab an Ultra Ball. I think I got a Sycamore in my hand already. I do. So, oh, that's not what I want. Let's go ahead, show cards. All right, gonna grab that Ultra Ball. Let's Trainer's Mail one more time. Don't need any of those, so we're gonna leave those in deck. How many cards do I have in deck? Like 20 something. All right, and then we can let's slap the Floatstone onto my active. Okay, then we're gonna Ultra Ball away the Sycamore and the Ultra Ball. I'm just gonna kind of go aggressively here. Let's grab a Lugia. I could set up another Decidueye. I'm just gonna grab the Lugia though. I want an alternative attacker. But look how cool this is. Like, this is an Acerola turn. This is insane. You know, like this, I played Acerola as my supporter, and now look at all this that I'm setting up. Like, totally wild, wild stuff. I can Ultra Ball again. I could grab another. I could get like my Rowlet, but there's no point in getting that Rowlet. I think I'm just going to be rocking with these 2 Decidueye here. My opponent is being very patient. Thank you, opponent. Being very kind. I'm going to grab the Tapu Lele. Being very kind while I stunt on you. Let's see. All right. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock things up, and I think I'm going to, yeah, I'm fine with that. And then let's go ahead and start swinging. I could get another double colorless energy and go in with like Lugia or something just to keep these guys safe on the bench. I don't like the idea of just having my Decidueyes out here in the active, because if my opponent were to just, you know, finesse something where they can get that Flareon into the active, like that thing could just go down. So I don't really want that. That's why I think I'm gonna just go for a setup here, try to get another energy to attack with somebody else. I want to attack with Lugia. So, well, we didn't quite get there, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's just put that energy onto my... I am giving that Zoroark a lot of power right now, though. I don't really like that. I am giving that Zoroark a lot of juice if he chooses to hit the field. So we Feather Arrowed. Right, we did Feather Arrow twice. All right, we did not forget, like a baddie. All right, and let's go ahead. We can Razor Leaf. Get that damage up there. So he's sitting at a 130. That means the next turn we can Razor Leaf for a knockout, Feather Arrow, some other things, and start to get this game moving. All right, so that was crazy. I mean, look at this. I mean, my board position went from 0 to 60. I got a whole other Decidueye line up, got a backup attacker, have more cards in my hand, all because of Acerola. But my opponent is like, hey, guess what? Yeah, 2 can play at that game. And they go ahead and Acerola their guy right back up into the active. How depressing. I'm surprised that they didn't just bring this bench. Oh, they didn't have another Golisopod out, so they couldn't activate. Okay, they weren't going to be able to activate First Impression, so they did that. Here's my DCE. Okay, this is what I wanted. Is there anything? And the cool thing, man, I can Hollow Hunt and I could just get Acerola back. This is so insane, right? I mean, I could really just fool around here for as long as I want to. Let's do it. I mean, I could do it. I don't know. Let's see. Let's Feather Arrow the Golisopod. Feather Arrow the Golisopod. And we could attach the double colorless energy to my Lugia and hit that thing for 40. I don't feel like that. I'm gonna put the DC on the Lugia though, just so we have it. And let's see, my opponent played an Acerola. We could end. I don't really need anything though. I don't want to give my opponent too much. They haven't been playing any draw cards, so I just kind of want to keep them here in this zone. If I can knock out this Tapu Lele, then knock out the Golisopod, then I'll have game. And let's see, how many double colorless? Yeah, I have just these 2 double colorless out. That means I have 2 double colorless in play. My opponent, I have to imagine they're going for a Guzma or something to try and get that Golisopod into the active. Oh, they are just going to Acerola again. Okay. So, I mean, wow. You can see we're very much at a standstill here. Both of us are just Acerolaing back and forth. This is crazy. And my opponent is going to be able to hit me. If they have a Flareon, I'm going to be upset. I'm not going to be happy. All right, they don't have the Flareon. Thank goodness for that. We're cool. Now, what I would like to do, let's just kind of end you. Let's just get you out of here. I think I want to draw some more cards now. I'm ready. Yep, that's fine. I end myself to 4. Okay. So we got a Rainbow Energy. This is fine. I don't think that my opponent should be able to get out of this situation too well. Let's see. I could get Acerola. Acerola would be good if I Hollow Hunt. Or I can just Razor Leaf and do more damage. I think I just Razor Leaf and do more damage though at this point. I can put another energy onto that Lugia. I think I just Razor Leaf, and then I Hollow Hunt if this Decidueye goes down. I think that's the game plan. So I am gonna, let's see, is there any point in Feather Arrowing? 90, 130, I don't think there is. So I think I'm gonna Feather Arrow something else. I think I'm gonna Feather Arrow this Eevee. I don't really want to, but I mean, I would love to knock out this Eevee, just so that like I know that they're not gonna be able to get that thing out. But then I'm gonna feel dumb if they just evolve up into Flareon like this turn, you know? So I'm gonna invest those there. And then we are just gonna Razor Leaf again, crack this Golisopod, see if we can survive another turn. That would be great. I mean, my opponent needs a double colorless or something. If they attach a double colorless, they can, there they go. Okay, so they are gonna retreat back. They're probably going to, I think they're probably gonna Crossing Cut GX. There they go, yep. So they're gonna Crossing Cut GX. I'm not upset about this because they're gonna bring that thing back to the bench, and then I'm gonna be able to knock out that Eevee. So I really wanted to get that Eevee out of here, out of the picture. I don't like looking at it. I am tired of worrying about it. Okay, and we pretty much got this game in the bag. I don't think, if with that Guzma pull right there, I think I don't even need to Hollow Hunt to pull off any more fancy tricks. I'm just gonna knock out this Golisopod and the Eevee in the same turn. I think that's what I'm gonna do for now. I'm gonna do it with this Lugia. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, plenty of damage. So let's just Guzma up the Golisopod. Oh, yeah. And then we're gonna Feather Arrow the Eevee once, knock that out. Thank goodness. Tapu Lele, fantastic draw off that knockout there, and now we are gonna go down to 1 prize. And if my opponent can't respond to this Lugia, which I don't expect them to be able to, I mean, what can they do? They would have to, even if they get a Zoroark out, let's see, if they get a DCE that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, they're only doing 100 damage, whereas, you know, I got only 1 prize left to take. I got options. I can knock out that Zorua if they don't evolve it into a Zoroark. If they try to put down any other basics, I can knock them out pretty easily. I got Guzma in hand. I got Tapu Lele here. I can Guzma and then Hollow Hunt, you know, and that puts me in a great position as well. I got plays. I got things to do. My opponent is really on the back foot here. And it's my turn. They got nothing. They can't do it. I got a whole Decidueye line. But let's see. What do I need to close this game out? I just need to Lysander that Zorua. That's it. That's game. So we're going to Lysander the Zorua. We didn't even need the Decidueye. We have more than we needed to close this one out. So thank you all for watching this game. Even though I jacked up and forgot, I'm just going to throw a Feather Arrow just because I'm talking. But let's Arrow Ball. GG, Mr. Goopy Goop. All right, so thank you all for watching that game. I can't believe I forgot to Feather Arrow one time, but you know, this is why we practice. You learn from your mistakes. Make sure that you try to check your Feather Arrows every time. Even the beginning of the game is when I find I miss them the most because I'm not really focused on taking knockouts yet. So I admittedly will forget them pretty early. But I think that was a pretty good matchup. You guys got to see some pretty exciting things about the new format. Acerola is insane. I mean, I had underestimated the strength of that card just completely, you know, in my initial assessment of the set. And I had it as the second best supporter in the set. And like, I knew it was good, but I now like seeing is believing, right? Like I actually get to see it in practice. Look how insane that card is. Just the ability to pick up a Decidueye line, the ability to pick up a Golisopod. Anybody's got damage on it and all the cards attached to it into your hand. Fantastic. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. You know, let me know what you guys think of these new cards in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, take it easy. Peace.